Create. Emote. NinNinDays.
Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of NinNinDays on Nintendo Switch. Whoa, hey! Sumire grabs me by the hand, and I barely managed to catch my balance before falling on my face. I get it. You don't have to pull so hard. Sumire is walking just ahead of me with a beaming smile. Well, I guess I don't mind. By all rights, I should be the one pulling Sumire by the hand, I think, as I'm dragged along behind her. After riding on one of the faster roller coasters, we make our way back to where the entrance is indicated on the park map. The ride Sumire points at is a coaster that glides along the water and then has a big drop from the top of a waterfall. Sure, why not? They have ponchos for sale, so we don't get wet. It'll probably be fine. You mean... The next ride Sumire chose was a roller coaster whose rails soar high into the sky. It has twists and huge drops that looks totally terrifying. You sure that one isn't a bit too... I can't possibly pull away my hand, which Sumire has in a death grip. So on we go, through the gates to the roller coaster. Sumire points to a high, narrow tower. If I look carefully, I can make out something like a dragon wrapped around it. I bet that thing drops at ferocious speed. Hang on a minute. Why is she choosing nothing but the scariest rides? Sumire, you sure like scary rides with big drops, don't you? A huge kite? Oh yeah, there's a technique like that, or at least I heard that it's scientifically possible to fly a person through the air on a kite twice their size. But it can't really be considered flying. Wasn't the issue that it's not practical because of being too difficult to control? Plus, the landscape is the last thing on my mind when I'm on a roller coaster. Hey, why don't you choose that nice Ferris wheel? It looks so peaceful. As if to slap down even my thought of a suggestion, Sumire tries pulling me towards another scream machine. Whoa, wait a second. Can't we have a break? Sumire, you have way too much energy. The sound that came from Sumire's stomach was the grumble of hunger. I checked the clock in the park and noticed that it's almost lunchtime. I'm pretty hungry too. Want to grab a bite? Sumire's face is flushed in excitement. I grab her by the hand and we head off in search of the food court. Sorry. Yeah, thanks. We find a restaurant inside the park, but unfortunately, because of the time, we can't get a seat. So instead, we grab hot dogs at a food truck where there isn't such a big line of people, and go over to the plaza to eat it. Sumire's eyes drill into her hot dog. Sumire chose a regular hot dog while I got some teriyaki chicken dog instead. After a moment, Sumire timidly takes her first bite. Her eyes open wide in surprise. I'm glad you like it. I bite into my own hot dog as well. Yep, it's delicious. What is it? Sumire starts asking me something just as I'm about to take another bite. Sure, I guess so.
いただきます。
I want to tell her that it's already half eaten, but she leans forward and takes a big bite anyway.
うーん。
Now that I think of it, that first meat bun I gave her was half eaten too.
甘くて辛い。砂糖醤油味？
Well, that's one way to describe it. Pretty much. Isn't it good? Sumire's face blooms into a smile like a sunflower. When Sumire pulls away, I bathe in the aftermath of her smile and the sweet smell that tickles my nose. Suddenly, she taps my shoulder.
はい。主様も私の食べていいよ。
Saying that, she offers me her hot dog. Really? Are you sure?
いいよ。あ、でも全部食べたらダメだからね。
Oh, I know that. I guess the idea of an indirect kiss doesn't bother Sumire. Of course not. She ate a bite of mine without issue, didn't she? I feel stupid being the only one who's sensitive about it.
食べないの？
Sometimes I see couples doing this, but they don't seem to make a big deal out of it. That is a situation I'm in now, but I can't help feeling super embarrassed to be one of those couples. It's impressive they can do this without blinking an eye. Thanks. I bite into the hot dog offered by Sumire.
どう？
How is it? I'm so embarrassed I can't even tell how it tastes. Mommy, look, that girl is feeding him. I look up and see a little boy pointing at us from a few feet away. Did you and Daddy do that too? Shh, hush now. The woman he calls Mommy scolds the little boy and pulls him away.
おいしい。
Sumire is so involved in eating her hot dog, it seems she didn't hear a thing. It's one of those weird cultural stereotypes, which I don't actually think is a thing. It's just one of those manga and anime tropes. It's certainly not a thing in the West. But I digress. I guess we really do look like a couple. I start to feel gloomy until Sumire pokes my side and I snap out of it.
主様、あれって何？
That. Looking in the direction Sumire is pointing, I see some children sitting on what looks like an outdoor stage. Oh, so that's why there's so many kids around today. You've probably never seen one, but on holidays like today, there's usually a hero show. Set up around the stage are big panels with the heroes' names written on them. There's even a special photo booth.
ヒーローショー？
Sumire obviously doesn't have a clue. Just watch and you'll get the idea soon enough. Still eating our hot dogs, we turn our eyes to the stage. Now that I'm an adult, I get that they're just actors, but when I was a kid, I thought those guys were the real-life heroes. I'd even play make-believe as heroes with friends back then. Even now, I can't help feeling moved. While I'm reminiscing about the good old days, I realize we've come to the scene where the hero faces the villain. Ha 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 ha! These children are mine now, if you ever want to see them again. The villain turns to face the hero and lets out a roar of laughter. That's right, this is the basic plot for any hero show. So, this is how they create a situation where the kids and the heroes can interact. Sumire? Sumire shoves the rest of the hot dog in her mouth in a panic and then suddenly stands up with a furious look on her face. What's wrong?
あんなに小さい子を人質にするなんて許さない。
Saying that, Sumire runs towards the stage. Wait, Sumire! Sumire jumps onto the stage, completely ignoring my attempts to restrain her. Sumire springs on an attack on the villain, despite the fact that the hero and the villain are on stage, and the kids watching them are taken aback in total shock. However, she can't seem to land a hit. What kind of person is this that can dodge Sumire's attack? Could that villain be a ninja as well? Still, it's possible. According to Sumire, now that ninjas have a much smaller job market than they used to, some even leave the village to make a living in the city. That person inside that villain costume could very well be one of those ninjas. Even now, the villain continues dodging Sumire's attacks and isn't paying the hero the slightest bit of attention. The hero, who was supposed to be the main character, is now standing flustered to the side of the stage, not knowing what to do. I don't blame him. I mean, just now some random girl jumped up on stage and is battling the villain with the sharp moves of a professional martial artist. I'm sorry, Mr. Hero. All I can do is silently apologize. You can do it, lady. Huh? For some reason, the kids start cheering on Sumire instead of the hero. Get him! Get the bad guy! The cheers spread throughout the audience until finally the whole crowd is rooting for Sumire. Sumire looks at the children in the audience.
ありがとう。私頑張るね。
The mic set up mid-stage picks up Sumire's voice nicely. Just the line a hero would say in an actual hero show. Sheesh, I can't just stand here and watch this unfold. I've got to stop Sumire and quick. Too bad that I don't have the courage to go pull Sumire off that stage, especially now that she's become the star of the show. Why doesn't the bad guy just run away? Even standing as far as I am, I can tell the villain is breathing heavily. Maybe it's a professional pride which is keeping them from leaving the stage. Sumire, not giving up either, takes out a few of her throwing knives. Oh man, you've got to be kidding me. She wasn't kidding.
これで終わりだよ。
She faces the villain and throws the knife straight at him. Huh? This is definitely not good. Or so I thought. With light footwork, the villain continues to slip out of harm's way, somehow managing to catch the knives in mid-air with his fingers. You fail at the final moment. Are you sure you can defeat me? Apparently, Sumire never expected her knives to be caught and scowls bitterly.
それなら
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Getting a bit desperate, aren't we? Taking out twice as many throwing knives, she chucks them unhesitantly at the villain. Huh? The moment Sumire lets her knives fly, a sheet of smoke erupts from the villain's hand. The stage is quickly obscured by the smoke, and Sumire and everyone else on stage are no longer visible from the audience.
これは
Mwahaha! You put up a good fight, girl. You may have won today, but the next time you're mine. Mwahaha! The voice echoes from the speaker, and when the smoke finally clears, the villain is gone. Wow, lady, you're so strong.
ありがとう。みんなのおかげで私頑張れたよ。
Sumire proudly declares her victory from center stage. She is met by applause and wild cheers from the crowd. I have some questions for Sumire after she jumps down from the stage, waving at all the smiling children. Hey, was that villain a ninja?
あれは悪い人でしょ。忍者じゃないよ。
It seems she'd really believed the bad guy was going to take the children hostage. From my perspective, it looked exactly like a battle between two ninjas, though. I got a prickling sensation that someone is watching me, and look around the area. Just the sparkling eyes of children staring at Sumire. Whoa! Not just the boys, but the little girls look at her in admiration. Not surprising, since she gave a more action-packed show than even the hero. The main issue here is that Sumire jumped into the show without warning. Hey, Sumire, you know...
主様も見ててくれた。私みんなのことを守れたよ。
not exactly. Let's apologize, I suppose. Well, here, hold on. Here, let's go apologize. Even though the hero show is over, the children continue watching our exchange in fascination. Rather than take their kids somewhere else, the parents are also gawking at Sumire and I as though we're some bizarre beings. Sumire, this way. I can't take the intensity of the stares any longer and pull Sumire away by her hand.
主様、急にどうしたの？
Just come on. We make a wide loop and move to the back of the stage. There should be a staff room somewhere around here. They must be pissed. We'll be lucky if we get off with a warning. But if they start talking about damage compensation, I don't know if a fine would qualify as damage compensation or not in this situation, but the reality is our behavior caused them trouble. What am I supposed to do if they demand money? There. A truck is pulled up backstage. There's a tent set up next to it. There are some tarps hung up around the tent, and it's difficult to see anything from outside. That must be it. Approaching the tent, I see someone fiddling with a machine next to it. Excuse me. Yes? We're, the ones who just interrupted the hero show. Interrupted? I mean, when that girl suddenly jumped up on stage. Oh, that's what you mean by interrupted. I'll get my boss. Just wait here a second. I'd appreciate that. Having said that, the staff member disappears into the tent.
主様、どうして謝るの？
Why? Because we made a total disaster of their hero show, that's why. That was all just acting, not real.
そうだったんだ。
Hey there, sorry to keep you waiting. I brought the boss so you guys can talk. Oh, okay, thanks. How wonderful. I'm glad you took the time to come back here. The person the staff brought over was the villain that Sumire had been wholeheartedly throwing knives at. I can tell from her voice now that it's a woman. We're so sorry.
すみませんでした。
I bow low to the woman in front of me, apologizing for what happened at the hero show. I wait for the verbal abuse about to come flying, but no matter how long I wait, not one harsh word comes from her mouth. Even less expected, she lets out a lighthearted laugh. Okay, let's go someplace more private, why don't we? This isn't something we should be talking about in public. Oh, sure. Not something to talk about in public. More than one possibility pops into my head. However, we have no choice but to follow after her. We get out of there and head to a less populated area. Seeing that there are no park visitors, I guess that this must be a staff-only area. All right. The female staff member in front of us stops and turns around. That was just wonderful. I really enjoyed all those ninja techniques. Sumire, you've really improved. Huh? Did she just call Sumire by name? Come now, don't tell me you don't remember me.
Huh?
Sumire's mouth is hanging open in shock after hearing her name. How awful. This makes me so sad. Would you mind showing us your face? Then maybe Sumire will remember who she is. Oh, of course. Sorry, my bad. To think I was trying to have a normal conversation like this. Whew, you know, this is like my second skin, so I don't even realize if no one says anything. Isn't that just an occupational hazard in this line of work? I think to say this, but managed to keep my mouth shut. There we go. Now do you recognize me? She takes off the mask of her villain costume and Sumire yells in surprise when her face is revealed. Sumire claps her hands together as if a light bulb has just flashed over her head. Is she an acquaintance of yours? Whoa. This woman. I turn my eyes towards the woman who's just peeled an animal mask off her face. She pulls down the top half of her costume and rolls it near her waist. She must do a lot of training. Her athletic figure is practically glowing. She has a nice body and an attractive face, but with a different sort of appeal than Sumire. Not to mention, after hours in that animal costume, her shirt is sticking to her flesh, soaked in sweat. I find myself having trouble knowing where and where not to look. What? I redirect my eyes to Sumire and find her looking at me with cheeks inflated angrily. I don't like the look I'm getting and try starting a conversation with Sumire's senior ninja sister instead. I'd like to apologize again for interrupting your hero show like that. Oh, that's nothing to worry about. The kids loved it. Personally, it's a non-issue for me. Are we really getting off the hook that easily? I just have one question. Sure, what is it? Why are you working as a stunt actor? I have more than a few reasons for doing this, but the most important is that I can get away with using my ninja skills without suspicion. You know, just like Sumire up on stage a minute ago, she adds. She's right. If you try to stunt like that in any other line of work, you'd be lucky to just be fired and not sent to jail. Now, I'm sorry if I'm ruining your date, but I have a reason for stopping you two. Sumire, standing next to me, whispers this question into my ear. What? Oh, it's, I get flustered trying to answer while Sumire just stands there with her head tilted to the side in confusion. I get it. Watching our interaction, the ninja lady gets an evil glint in her eye, and the corners of her mouth slowly rise. Well, I'll get the whole juicy story later. Sumire, do you want to work for the same company I'm with?
同じ職場?
That's right. Actually, one of our actors just quit. And after seeing your moves today, I believe you could even start tomorrow. What do you say? Come on, even after you become a full ninja, you've got to make a living for yourself. Honestly, it's best to find a job for yourself during your training.
でも私には主様が。
Master?
主様。
Hmm? The ninja lady glances at me and chuckles. I can see you two doing that kind of role play. I mean, having that kind of relationship. Hey, I heard that. You were just about to say roleplay, weren't you? Hold on, this person doesn't seem like any ninja I know of. I wouldn't be surprised to find out she was born and raised here. Or perhaps she's just gotten too used to her life in the city. Hey, could you listen to what I have to say? Look, there's a cafe over there. Let's chat over tea. They have delicious sweets. I know you'd love them too, Sumire.
おかしい。
Uh-oh, Sumire's falling for it. The limited edition seasonal sweet dumplings they have are especially mouth-watering.
お団子。
Sumire's eyes glaze over. Hook, line, and sinker. A workplace where Sumire has a senior ninja to work with. Considering Sumire is not used to this world yet, there couldn't be a better place for her to work. Plus, if the pay is good, she might even say something like, I want to give you a comfortable life, master, and work as both a maid and a stunt actor. But that would be too big a burden for Sumire.
主様、お話だけでも聞いて。
I'm sorry, but Sumire is under my service and she won't be doing any other work. I interrupt Sumire mid-sentence, then grab her hand, running away as fast as I can. I'm exhausted. The words slip out of my mouth as I collapse onto my bed, almost the second I get through the door. Not only did we run around everywhere today, but we went on ride after terrifying ride. I've been biting my nails, thinking anxiously that Sumire might take on the burden of working as a stunt actor in addition to her maid job. I'm not exhausted from being with Sumire, but it slipped out from the pure exhaustion of the day.
主様、そのまま寝ちゃったら服にシワがついちゃうよ。
Oh, yeah. She sounds just like my mother. Sumire sits on the edge of the bed, humming to herself and looking at the picture we took at the park today.
ねえねえ、主様、帰りに寄ったコンビニに置いてあった箱ってどんな仕組みなの？
The box?
ほら、大きい箱があったでしょ？あの糸と箱を操作したら、私と主様にそっくりな絵が出てくるんだもん。びっくりしたよ。
Oh, that's a printer. If I send the photos from my cell phone, it can print them out onto photo paper.
プリンター、光沢紙？
Well, yeah, it's a machine that makes pictures. A phone camera, which I'd only ever used to take photos of QR codes in my shifts from work before this, today had got more than enough use. We'd stopped at a convenience store on the way home and tested it out by printing out a few of the photos. They came out really well, didn't they? I take a photo of the two of us out of Sumire's hands. It's handy being able to print these out at the convenience store. So that's modern times for you.
この主様、おかしい顔してるよ。
Sumire is gazing cheerfully at the other photos. I guess it really is nice to have memories in photo form like this. Sumire is even livelier than before. We went to the amusement park. It seems she's got energy to spare.
ジェットコースター、すごく速かったよね。さすがに父上でもあれには追いつけないかな。
Whoa, how fast is her father exactly? Wait, he's the head of a ninja village. I can't compare him to a normal human. I roll onto my back and throw out my arms and legs.
主様、私のおじい様みたい。
Shush, I'm still young. Suddenly, Sumire looks at the wall clock.
主様、お風呂どうする？先に入っちゃう？
No, you go on, Sumire.
じゃあ先に入っちゃうね。
Sumire leaves the photos she was looking at on the table and heads out of the room. I'll just lie here and rest until she comes back. I think I'm forgetting something very important. Or that's how it feels, but once I give in to my drowsiness, that sudden thought slips away. I'll remember later. I come to this conclusion in a fog of sleep before drifting off. I open my eyes, bothered by the faint light on my eyelids. Glancing at the clock, I see that it's almost midnight. Man, I slept a lot. I think I was sleeping so long because this is the bed I've been so accustomed before. Was that just a dream? What a strange dream. Sumire was looking down on me sleeping, then what happened next? Everything is blurry. Wait. Wait a second. I'm still in my bed. Then where's Sumire sleeping?
おはよう、主様。
Wait, what? Right next to me, I see Sumire lying down on the bed with me. This isn't a dream, right? I pinch my cheek, but nothing changes. I'm frantically trying to bring reason back to my mind, which is half in chaos, but it's not working. Even worse, the idea that I may have done something very bad when I was half asleep starts to float around my mind. Sumire has a hand over her mouth, trying to suppress a laugh. Something is bugging me about this. Why is my heart beating so wildly just looking at her smiling face?
ごめんね。ちょっとおかしくて。
Oh, I never told Sumire how I feel. Oh man, I seriously can't believe I forgot something so critical. Now on top of that, the day is almost over. I completely missed my window to confess.
どうしたの？
No, it's nothing. I'm just out of it. Hey, were you awake this whole time?
ベッドに入ったのはついさっきだよ。
I almost asked her why, but immediately closed my mouth. It's because I just got in sight of the laundry. Not only did she bring it in, she folded it as well. Looking to the kitchen next, I see that all the dishes are dried and neatly stacked. Sumire did all the housework while I was sleeping.
起こすのもかわいそうだし、家事が終わる頃には起きるかなって思ってたんだけど。主様、すごく気持ちよさそうに寝てたから起こせなくって。
Oh, sorry. I'll get up. Yank. I feel a slight tug on my sleeve.
いいよ、このままで。
Sumire's fingers are gripping onto my sleeve. Sure. As prompted by Sumire, I stay lying on the bed. Thanks.
お礼を言わなくちゃいけないのは私の方だよ。
You think?
今日は遊園地に連れて行ってくれたでしょ。私とっても嬉しかったんだ。主様は私にいろいろな初めて教えてくれて、私にいろいろな経験をさせてくれる。
Oh.
主様に出会うまではずっと里で修行ばかりだった。本当はね、なんで忍者なんてやらなくちゃいけないんだろうって思ったこともあったんだよ。
You really thought that, Sumire? Until just now, everything Sumire had said led me to believe she had no complaints at all about her life as a ninja.
もし主様と出会えてなかったら、あのまま逃げてたかもしれないし。
You're one to talk. You were lying half dead on the street.
ああ、それは言っちゃダメだよ。
Amused, Sumire is giggling.
主様との生活がなかったら、きっと私はこんな気持ちになってないと思う。
「 This way?
うん。ずっとこういう毎日が続いたらいいなって。でも、
But?
主様はどう思ってる？
I think about my life with Sumire. I couldn't hide my shock when I first met her. She kept insisting she was a ninja after all. But everything's different now. Living with Sumire, I've seen all her various sides. Sometimes things get a little unreal, but having her to talk about this or that makes every day enjoyable. Oh, okay, well. Oh, we have choices. I enjoy living with you, Sumire. Don't you want to become a full-fledged ninja? After her training, you'll go back to the village, won't you? I'll say I enjoy living with you, Sumire. I enjoy living with you, Sumire. I was hoping we could stay this way forever.
本当？
I wouldn't lie about that. If I didn't like you, I would have kicked you out right away.
そっか。よかった。
Sumire seems relieved and breathes a quick sigh. Next time, how about going someplace else?
別のところ？
Sumire asked me with a vacant expression, still lying by my side. You know, like the aquarium.
水族館。
A place where you can see all the creatures who live underwater.
鮎とかヤマメとか？
Oh, no, not exactly. I can't say why, but it's these kind of exchanges with Sumire that I like. One might say she has no common sense, but the truth is, she's just pure and innocent. I love teaching her and showing her new things. If you go to the aquarium, you can see fish from all around the world.
世界中の？
I only have a vague memory of going, but apparently there are even fish from Africa there.
へえ。
Sumire's eyes sparkle with wonder. Although for the record, I don't like teaching anybody new stuff. I'd rather have them come, well experienced. But that's just me.
主様、絶対に行こうね。絶対だよ。
Of course we will, as soon as we both have another day off together.
やった。
Sumire clenches her fist in a victorious pose and then looks at me. I hope I can fulfill all of Sumire's wishes. Hey, we've got to start work again tomorrow. It's almost time for bed.
はーい、主様。
Sumire answers me while pulling the blanket up to her chin and hugging it tight. Well, I guess I'll... Just when I was about to say I'll take a bath, I feel an even stronger tug on my arm.
主様も一緒に寝よう。
As Sumire asks me, she pulls my arm closer and hugs it tight. I don't know...
ダメ？
I guess I could, but let me take a bath first. Probably not a good idea to sleep in the same bed with a girl without taking a bath. I'd hate to have her thinking I smell all sweaty.
あ、そうだよね。
It seems Sumire realized what I was trying to say and pulls the blanket over her face to hide the fact that her cheeks are stained bright red in embarrassment, so obvious I could see it even in the dark. She really is adorable. With her cute behavior in my mind, I hurried to the bathroom. One week earlier. Looking at our shifts for the next month, with Sumire, we spotted a day when our days off happened to overlap. We started chatting about going on a date and got excited thinking about where to go. That is until... we gotta get this cleaned up.
そうだね。
Faced with the mountain of housework that's built up, I breathe a deep sigh. Talk about bad timing. The day before our date, a typhoon, the likes of which is only seen once every 10 years, was approaching Japan. Whatever, I doubt it'll be a direct hit, I remember thinking. I thought the only difference would be strong wind and rain. However, it was a spectacular direct hit, which is what I deserve for belittling a storm. Not to mention that it slowed its advance just above our area, making the situation pretty damn terrible. Aside from the torrential rain and violent winds, there were widespread blackouts, and even worse, our water supply was cut off due to a machine breaking down at the water treatment plant. At least the gas had still been working, so we managed to eat, but the food that we didn't use caused a catastrophe in our fridge.
なんてもったいない。
Sumire's lament is understandable. In other circumstances, the same food would have been deliciously prepared, filling our bellies. It's times like these that I realize how much we rely on electric appliances. How are our families in all electric households handling this, I wonder? We had gas, but they can't even cook in a blackout. Alright. In the meantime, let's keep moving forward. We'll simply split up the chores as we always do. Sumire, will you wash the dishes and clean up the room?
じゃあ、主様は洗濯物とゴミ出し、お風呂掃除だね。
Then all that's left is getting rid of the food in the fridge. That'll probably be the worst.
よろしくね、主様。
Watching Sumire walk to the kitchen, I start chucking the dirty clothes into the washing machine. This really isn't so bad. It's been a while since Sumire and I started living together. Sometimes I'm even under the false illusion that we've been living together forever. We both understand what each of us needs to do in order to get the chores done efficiently. Sorry about that. Now, detergent. Even without words, we manage to understand each other pretty well. That's just how our relationship has become. The first load is all set. Saying this, I watch as the washing machine starts to spin. The washing machine I have is a small model meant for one person. When doing laundry for two people, the amount each of us can wash is less, so we split it up into a few loads. I'm taking the garbage out. I tell this to Sumire and then grab the bags of trash that I'd put in front of the entrance, heading outside. The first load of laundry finished while we were doing the rest of the chores, so I dump the wet clothes into a basket and bring them to the balcony. When I cut across the room, I see Sumire sitting on the edge of the bed, grinning and looking at something. What are you smiling about? Yeah, I think you were even humming. Embarrassed, Sumire lifts her hand up to hide her face, and when she does, the thing she was looking at is revealed. You're still looking at that? Sumire had been looking at pictures from the amusement park. So, she'd been lost in fond memories. As the one who took her there, I can't help but feel glad that she enjoyed herself so much. What? What again? Oh, is that all? Sure, why not? I plan to give them to you anyway, Sumire. Sumire looks overjoyed and shows me her biggest smile. It's fine to look at photos, but don't forget the housework, okay? Glancing back at Sumire, I see she's still grinning, looking at the photos. And now... I check the weather outside through the window. Yep, it's a nice day. Even when I know for a fact that it'll be sunny, I always check the weather, I always check the weather when I hang the laundry out to dry. Sumire, let's go shopping after this. Whoosh. The moment I open the sliding door to the balcony, something flies by me. What was that? Probably just a bug. But when I let my sight fall back to the room, I see an arrow sticking straight out of the table. Sumire, are you okay? I feel the blood drain from my face when she doesn't answer. Hey, Sumire. What is it? Are you hurt? Your picture? The photo that Sumire had been holding, it was now ripped spectacularly in two. The picture of Sumire and I are ripped right down the middle, almost as if we had been ripped apart. Oh no, you're not hurt, right, Sumire? It's too bad about the picture, but I can always reprint it. The biggest problem is obviously the arrow. Where did this come from? Sumire, is there anything else you're not telling me? There was the incident of an attack from a ninja of another school. I need to find out if she's hiding anything from me, since it means being shot at by arrows.
危険？主様、違うよ。これは私の流派が使ってる矢なの。
Then why would they attack you, Sumire?
攻撃なんかじゃないよ。ほらこれ、矢に紙が結びつけられてるでしょ。
Now I finally notice a tiny piece of paper tied to the shaft of the arrow. Could it be a message?
うん。里の人が手紙を届けに来ただけだと思う。
Oh, so that's what it was. Even someone from the same village uses letters affixed to arrows instead of coming directly. I'm shocked every time I learn something new about her village customs and culture. Sumire reads quietly through the letter. Her expression becomes gradually darker. What's wrong? The fact that an arrow was delivered here means that us living together is no longer a secret. Knowing Sumire's parents, they may have sent her a message saying that it's unacceptable for an unmarried girl to live with a man. Your hands are shaking. Are you okay?
大丈夫だよ。
Clearly something is not right. Do you mind if I ask what the letter's about?
その。
You don't have to tell me, okay? Some things are tough to talk about.
そんなことないよ。迷惑をかけてないとか、主に食事面で。
When it comes to Sumire, this is a delicate topic. But something's missing. I know she's not lying, but she's not telling the whole truth either. She doesn't seem comfortable talking about it, so I probably shouldn't try to dig deeper. Come on, let's get these chores done. Then it's lunchtime.
そうだね。早くやっちゃおう。
With a broom in one hand, Sumire puts some distance between us. I'll just ask her whenever she's ready to talk about it. It's later than I thought. The following day, I had a late shift and my boss asked me to close up shop. Thanks to that, I get out of work and a bit later than usual. Sumire must be hungry. I imagine Sumire when I arrive, with her cheeks puffed out in annoyance as if to say, "Master, you're late." Thinking of what she might say, then I can't help but smile. I'm sure that my expression in that moment is unbearably creepy. Thinking that I'd better get Sumire some dinner, I naturally pick up the pace. Tadaima, oh, I'm home. I yell a greeting into the room when I finally get home. However, there is no answer from Sumire. Hey, are you sleeping? If you fall asleep now, you won't be able to get any sleep later. I say this as I untie my shoes and head inside. Not even the light is turned on. Assuming she might be in bed, feeling under the weather, I check, but no one is there. Where did she go? She doesn't seem to be in the changing area, the bathroom, or the toilet either. She wasn't there to begin with. The sound of the floor creaking echoes softly through the room. Normally this room is filled with the voices of Sumire and I wouldn't take notice of any odd floor creaks. Why does it sound so loud now? Suddenly I notice a letter on the table. What's this? The letter is a long folded strip of paper that one might see in a period drama. Dear Master. That's who it's addressed to. Without a doubt, this is a letter that Sumire wrote for me. Sumire? Hit by a wave of inexplicable unease, I start to read Sumire's letter.
主様へ。はじめに、ちゃんとした挨拶もせずに出ていくことを謝ります。ごめんなさい。思えば、主様との時間はあっという間でした。いろいろな人たちとの交流を通して、多くのことを学ぶことができたと思います。それでもきっと、まだまだ知らないことがたくさんある。目をつむれば、その情景が想像できるような気がします。私は、主様とそんな時間をこれからも過ごしたい。 そう思っています。
Sumire. My heart's filled with mixed feelings. I pass my eyes over to the last sentence.
だから絶対に主様のところに戻ってきます。待っていて。
The letter finishes with that. After reading halfway through the letter again, I let my head fall back and stare up at the ceiling. Having a girl confess her love to me, that just makes me look so pathetic. I'm truly happy that she wants to continue living with me always. When I tip the letter, something falls out. This is... Stuck between the pages of a letter is a photo from the amusement park. It's a piece of that same photo of the two of us that she'd wanted so badly. It got ripped in half, didn't it? I remember that it was originally a picture of Sumire and I that was shot in two by an arrow. Sumire must have my half of the photo. What I'm holding is the half showing Sumire. I guess this means we'll have one single photo once we're reunited. Sumire, I'll be waiting for you. Okay, I think that's a good place to stop it. Or a cruel place to stop it. Anyway, this is audap. You've been watching NinNinDays on Nintendo Switch. Well, we knew this time was coming. Still feels a little sad though, doesn't it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.
NinNinDays